Hey historians, it's Mrs. Tyler, and I am going to talk to you today about how to best study for our unit test. We have our first unit test coming up. It is next week, and I want to make sure that you guys are using this, the opportunity to study in the best way possible. So I have so many different resources that you can be using to study for your test. The first is we've been using flashcards throughout all of the unit. And this will be the same every single unit. You will get sets of these flashcards. So you should have been, as we've been going through, you've got your pink set that we started with, that all of these terms were on the first quiz. All of the yellow terms were a part of our second quiz. All of the green terms were a part of our third quiz. And then you got a blue set, which are all about the timeline. Okay, the best way to do this, to study with these, is first of all, there's a couple ways. The best way for me, when I had to do this by myself, I used to make flashcards all the time for myself when I was in college. I had all these history classes from different time periods and different eras and different parts of the world, and it got really overwhelming. So I had to make color-coded flashcards for myself in college. And this is what worked best for me when I was just studying on my own. I would quickly go through, read my definition, and if I knew the word for sure, like this, nickname, father of the Constitution, I don't even have to finish reading that. I know that. That's James Madison, and if I'm right, then I'm going to put it on one pile. If the war hero who led the Continental Army in the American Revolution was asked to preside over the Constitutional Convention. Is this Daniel Shays? Wait, no, I think it might be George Washington. Okay, I was right, but I was second guessing myself, so I'm going to set this in my review again pile. Okay, so I'm going to make two different piles. I've got my I know really well and my I might need to look at that one again. So you just keep going through. Oh, this is popular sovereignty. I know that. Written plan for government. Oh, that's the Constitution. I know that. Approve a plan or agreement. Formal approval. So if I'm going to go through all of these until I've got them all sorted into a I know these for sure pile and and I might even have I didn't know this at all. I had to look on the back and find out the answer. So what you're going to do then is once you've got those piles, you're going to take the pile that you know really well, set those aside, and now you're narrowing it down to just the ones that you struggled a little bit with, and you're just going to do that repeat over and over until you are really solid on all of these words. Another really great way is to, you can quiz someone else. You can have someone else quiz you. So you've got lots of friends who are getting ready for the same test. All of the 7th graders at AMSA have all of these same flashcards, and they can all be, we're all taking the test the same day in 7th grade. Doesn't matter if you have me or any of the other teachers. So you could all be, you could plan a little study group. You could get on Insta or FaceTime with a buddy, and you can actually do, which I didn't have access to when I was your age. It's pretty cool. You can do digital or online video chatting, and you can be reviewing together that way. That's a cool thing. If you have a parent or an older sibling who's willing to sit down with you, and that I can't even tell you how many hours my mom spent with flashcards with me in middle and high school to help me review important vocab and terms that were going to be part of the test. So that is how we use these. You're going to want to hang on to these, and I'll be giving out a paper clip to everybody, okay, coming up, or we'll staple them together however we need to keep all of our Unit 1 flashcards together. And that's why we put together this envelope at the start of the year, so you can keep all of your flashcards in there, and then this goes in your history binder. So this should be home with you so that you can study. You can be doing that. But I also want to show you the other way that you can be studying. You can go into Quizlet, and here's the Unit 1 Quizlet, the whole folder. You want Unit 1 Constitution. There are tons of these to understand. So here's the vocab set 1. It's going to go through all of those same things. What is the Constitution? If I flip through, okay, it's going to go through all of these. There's other games to play. All right. All of that. Then I go back to the whole vocab, the Unit 1. There's understanding the preamble. There were a lot of kids who struggled understanding each of these statements from the preamble. So you want to make sure, we the people, this is popular sovereignty. It tells you all of that information. Okay. One thing that I've sent those links out before throughout the whole unit. 2 new links that we have right now are the timeline to help you learn the timeline. 1776, Declaration of Independence was written. 1781, Revolutionary War ended and the United States became its own country. Okay, 1787, we wrote the Constitution. That was a constitutional convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 1788, we ratify the Constitution. 1789, we elect our first president, George Washington. 1791, we add those Bill of Rights as the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. So you want to make sure that you get those in order. And then the other one that you want to make sure that you study for are the elements that we were put on our map activity that we did earlier this week. Okay, so we need to know the location of things as of 1790. Okay, so going through and knowing the important cities. Okay, nice work. There are games you can play like matching. Use this resource. Okay, what state is that? That looks like Pennsylvania. Okay, when they disappear, it's all good. The Great Lakes and all that. So there's all kinds of ways that you can use to study. So that's what I want you to be doing over the weekend, and we're getting ready to be 100% prepared for the upcoming unit test. Have an amazing weekend and happy studying.